everyone, welcome to the video. I am Blacklight. Today we're going to be going through some tips to help you in Escape from Tarkov in this current wipe. We all know that it is a lot harder, and I've been actually, finding a lot more new players saying I've just started playing the game, and I've tried to help them out in raid as much, but I thought I'd make a video for it. If you do like the video, please like. If you do like the channel, please subscribe. But yeah, I'm Blacklight. Let's get into it. Tip number one, something I wanted to go through is, I don't think a lot of people really think about this, is if you don't know, in your bottom left in the screen, you're going to have a stamina bar. So you can see when I sprint, the bottom green bar will go down, and this increases over time as you make your character stronger. But I think you have to think of, where am I going? Can I make it there without stalling in an open spot or losing stamina in an open spot? That could eventually get me killed or possibly get me killed. And that's how I'm always thinking in Tarkov. So for me, obviously I have a lot of map knowledge, but what I always do is, if I do get red spawn in customs, which is the big red building, if you didn't know, that's behind me. Essentially, I'm using trees as coverage, and I know my pathing. So when I sprint here, I know that by the time I get to the red container, I might have a quarter left of stamina, and that will be the spot where I can safely regenerate my stamina and not really have to worry. Because let's say you start sprinting from over here and you come to here and you've got a quarter stamina left, and now you're breathing heavily and you're like, this is bad. Now you're completely open to so many angles that you could die from, and this is where a lot of people get shot running across these. Now, one thing I want to say, and this can be tip number two as well, I don't see a lot of people zigzag, even though they know they're not getting shot at. I feel like people only zigzag when they get shot, and this is really bad. You have to sort of move it as if you're always being looked at in Tarkov, because I can guarantee you at some points someone is looking at you, and if you're going like this in a straight line, you are much easier. So what I'm always doing, and I always see the good players doing this, is we're coming here, we're always doing something like this. You're gonna stand out either way, guys, whether you're zigzagging or not. And this is my point of entry where I'm stopping. So generally I'd have a quarter health left here, and I'd stop here. I'll usually just like Q&E in case someone randomly is looking at me there. That's never happened, but I always want to do something like that. And then once I regain full stamina, I'm going again. I'm zigzagging, using this, and I know in my head where my point of rest is, which is right at this tank. So I go like this. I've cleared this. I will tell you something later about free look, which not a lot of people, I think, utilize enough, but essentially I'm stopping here. Now why I'm stopping here is, look at the coverage I've got. I've got a big truck behind me that's covering my back. I'm kind of only open to this. If I wanted to be, I could push up a bit more. I only have to worry about this wall, scav sniper, and potentially here if someone was here, but I can peek. Boom. Yep, cool. Now I can go again. Now generally from here, in a point where I know it can be congested and a lot of players could be, I'll usually start walking now, and I'll start like really trying to suss out if I can hear anything, if I can see anything, because you want to watch down here. But yeah, guys, using your stamina in the right spots, this comes with map knowledge, but if you're in an open area, you don't want to be gassed out there. So you can even on shoreline think of points where, hey, if I sprint here, can I make it to this big rock? And then once I get to this big rock, that can be my point of coverage where I can regain stamina. So always have that in your back of your mind, and I'm telling you, it will help. And at the same time, zigzag. That is my tip number two. You need to be zigzagging everywhere you go, especially in open areas. Now I want to talk about sort of, if we do get engaged in a fight, let's hypothetically say we get engaged on here by someone. Now I see a lot of people do this. Let's say I engage on someone, and I'm the person that's running up here on this wall, and I see someone come up here. Now generally someone will come up here, they get shot. Now if they don't die, they will likely start healing, whatever it may be. But if they choose to peek, they must, and you must, always re-peek at a different angle. So let's say I shoot someone here, or I get shot here. I'm not gonna re-peek like this. No way. Now, it depends how badly hit I am, if I need a heal, if I need a stim, whatever it may be. But I will never, ever re-peek at the same level as that person has seen me. Because the first thing that person is going to do is, one, either they're going to rush me, which is fine, then that's a different fight. Or two, if they're sitting there, they're holding the exact angle of where they last envisioned my head. So essentially what I would do here is, if I did want to re-peek, I would just do this first. I would crouch, or I would definitely reposition and try and get a better peek. Now, we all know about left-hand peeking and everything, but that doesn't really matter. It's always about re-peeking. Even if you did this, this is super, super viable. I could go like this. This is huge. Can only just see me here. Going prone and peeking is really, really strong, especially in scenarios where you've been hit and you can hear them pushing you. So let's say they were pushing me and you heard them stomping. You could go boom, like this, bam. Likely that they die here because you'll see the legs. So you got to use prone as well, guys. This is really strong. Now, if you don't get the kill there, you're likely repositioning. And this is tip number 4, I think. Tip number 4, yeah, because we're talking about peeking. I'm going to say repositioning is so important. So once we get into a fight, if no one dies, you really want to reposition, and the amount of times I've killed PMCs, especially when using a sniper, is huge. So what I'm thinking of here is, what position would I be able to go to if I got into a fight here and then I need to reposition? So essentially, and unfortunately, it would be something like this again, which I think would be good, because I still want coverage on my back. And if I ran down there, I could, even if I wanted to, go back to a point where I know I'm really, really safe and go back to here. Now, obviously I'd have to scan out over there, but this would be a really good spot because I'm safe. I can re-heal, I can med up, get my survival kit, whatever I needed, and then come back. And then from that, I could literally run down, reposition, and go from there. So peeking, repositioning is something that's super important, but always and never re-peek the same angle, guys, especially when you're in a fight. Okay, tip number 5. Actually, you know what, editor, just flash me to dorms. I'm gonna go to dorms. All right, so we are at dorms now. If you don't know this spot, this is one of the biggest hotspots on customs. A spot where you need to do a lot of quests, a lot of players go here, a lot of fights happen here. So what I wanted to talk about is even how you enter into dorms, and this is based off free looking, which is tip number 5. Essentially what a lot of people do is they open the door. Now, if someone's in here, they will know automatically that you're in here. And how a lot of people die is they will go, yep, door's open, and peek, oh, dead. Or even if I do this here, it's still bad because I've given an audio trigger to someone of where I am, and if they are in this hallway, we are likely dead. So what you need to start getting in the habit of doing is using free look, and this is very powerful. Now, a lot of players do this, and this is super good, but what they'll do is they'll sprint, and even though they're holding like a weird angle, because you're sprinting and going at this, it's eventually going to push you to the left and put you in. Now, this is very, very strong because no one really expects it. So we're going to do this. We look down the hallway. If we don't see anything, we go again. Now, if we don't see anything there, that's very good news for us. Now, some people don't like coming this one because of the jump you have to do, so they might do this. You can't really do that here. You can if you want, but you might get hit a bit. But what you can do is you can go like that. I can go like this, go like this again. And this is just giving me vision because let's say someone is crouching right here, okay? They're just crouching right here. Now, essentially what I can do is I can go free look. Oh, I saw him. Come in. And then I can try and pre-fire. So I can go, oh, I saw him. Now, even if I put 5 to 7 bullets in here, it's fine, guys. Pre-firing is really strong. And this is going to be the next tip that I bring up. If you know someone is there, if you know someone is in a room, always pre-fire. So you're getting information and doing actions that they don't expect. So boom, I see someone there and then I go, whatever it may be. They could be here, I go there. Even if I saw someone left-hand peeking behind this, I could literally do the exact same thing, go like this, go, oh, cool. Hit fire if I want. Hopefully my gun doesn't malfunction in game, or else GG's. But typical Vector, it will malfunction. But yeah, I hope that helps you on the peeking part of things and free looking. Even when doors are open, guys, and you're coming into places like dorms, it doesn't have to be dorms. It can be anywhere. You should be doing this all the time. And this is just literally free looking like that. Now, all I'm doing is I'm free looking before I get to the stairs. So I go boom. If I don't see anything in there, I'm obviously I'm doing this, doing that, making sure. And coming into our next tip is, if you have a flashlight, use it. Always check. Even when you scav, guys, when you come in as a scav, always press T on your keyboard and just see if you have a laser or a flashlight, because this can win you fights. Now, so many times I've seen people, even like on stream, I've seen people have a flashlight or a laser and they get into these weird fights and they don't use the tools that's been given to them in the scav or even as a PMC. This is so strong. If I know someone is at stairs and I want to pre-fire, this is huge. Now, you have to also understand, you don't want to be using the flashlight as like from back here if you know someone's at stairs. Now let me explain why. Let's say I've cleared all these rooms, right? And I know someone's at stairs. I got an audio cue, whatever. You already had a fight. Now, if I flashlight here, he will get a visual cue of when I'm getting closer that I'm coming, and then he can pre-fire, or sorry, he can pre-fire me coming to the stairs. But if I go like this and then go like this, it gives that person less chance to respond. So this is very important. I could go and then pre-fire. Remember, we always still want to pre-fire with this. It's very powerful. I could go like this. That's something you want to get into the habit of. That's really good. Now, on to our next tip, guys. Using voice comms while nading and healing. This is something that is a bit cheeky, but very good to do. Now, if I get into a fight with someone, they've hit me up really bad, if you can do it, go, hey man, I'm just doing a quest. And if they respond and they go, what quest are you doing, or whatever it may be, and then you can just, if you know quests on top of your head, but as soon as you respond and go, you know the quest, that's when you want to start healing. Okay, if you need to heal, that's when you heal. That is a great way to make the enemy think that you're actually wanting to talk to them, but really you're prepping yourself up for a fight. Or if you didn't get hit that bad or they whiffed all their shots, essentially you go, hey man, what was that for? They reply, and then you go, you say something, and then you're getting your nade out and you're pulling the pin of your grenade. Now, some people can still hear this, but it's just making it easier for you to do things without them getting full information. So voice comms aren't just for communicating, they're actually for like delaying and making like a disguise out of what you're doing. Really strong. Who does this? Hutch MF does this a lot. Don't know his streams, you should check it out. Very good Tarkov player. But yeah, a lot of people do this, and it is a great way to disguise yourself. Something else I'm going to talk about here, and I really wanted to harp on this, are keybinds. Now, let's say you've gone into a fight and you've won the fight. Now, this is still a point of interest, the POI, and this is somewhere that is heavily contested. So we want to loot as quickly as possible. So what you always want to do is have a discard button. For me, my discard button is on my mouse, which is really good. So as soon as I go, I can use my mouse button. That's gone. Dropping your backpack and whatever you need to do to loot is really good. Now, let's just say if I take this, control clicking from someone else's stuff that they have will automatically put it into your rig, into your bag. This is really good. So when we search, we can literally, and I can't do it because there's no scavs in this raid, but essentially all you want to do is hold control and left click on your mouse, and it will essentially put it into a slot somewhere. This helps you loot quicker. This is really, really powerful. So I always suggest having your keybind set up, and also my keybind and the general keybind for your free look is your mouse scroll wheel, pushing it in. So you push the mouse scroll wheel and you can just use your mouse to look left or right. I don't know if other people use different keybinds for their free look, but generally the mouse scroll, pushing it in is what you want. There's other keybinds you should learn as well, but honestly, discard and free look would be your biggest ones with the control click and looting. This is really, really going to help you loot quicker, loot efficiently, and get out of POI spots when you really need to get out of them. Another thing that I don't think a lot of people do is stopping to hear sound. Let's just say we're going to go out of dorms and we're going to enter again. Let's say I'm coming up to dorms. I didn't get the closest dorm spawn. So I have an inch or a feeling that someone could possibly be in dorms. So I come up, they already know I'm here. And then all I'm doing is, again, I'm free looking. See, that was bad. That was bad. Apologies. Don't put that one in. Don't put that one in, editor. Please, sorry. I open the door to dorms and then I go like this. Now, you want to be careful of the windows here and everything. You really want to do this quicker. But I come in and now you don't have to move straight away. I see so many streamers, especially Landmark does this a lot. But what they'll do is they'll sprint in, they'll make noise, and then they'll stop. They don't make any noise whatsoever, maybe for about 3 to 5 seconds, and they'll just see if they can hear anything, whether it be someone do that, they can hear that, and get any audio cues from little things. Even when players like do something like this, that little noise, when this pushes up against the wall, or maybe they're trying to peek, that's going to give you a cue. Obviously a shot will give you a cue as well. So stop in the right moments that you can in your safe to see if you can hear and get an audio cue from an enemy player or even a scav. Something I wanted to talk about, which I think is absolutely massive, get ready for this one, is I use scavs as bait. Now, if you don't know what a scav is, it's basically an AI unit that spawns in at the map when you spawn in. They're all over the map and they will shoot at you if they see you. But at the map when you spawn in, it gives you information on where they are, where a player could be, sorry. So let's say I saw a scav here in the middle of this playground in between dorms. Now, me personally, if I was running to second story dorms, I would be forced to shoot it. But if I was just coming to dorms for the first time and saw it there, this scav is information. One, it gives me the idea that possibly no one could be in dorms too, 2-story dorms. Well, actually, no, that's incorrect. It just gives me information that no one's been running through here. No one's been running through this spot yet. It gives me information, and I'd rather not kill the scav and have that there as an information piece than actually kill it and give my position away. Now, sometimes and a lot of times you're going to be forced to kill scavs. That's part of the game. But if you can understand that a scav can actually work to your advantage, so many times I've left a scav up and then someone will shoot the scav from 2-story dorms. Someone will come here and go boom, and I'm inside 3-story dorms, and then I get the information that someone's around me, possibly where they are depending on the shots and how close they are to me, and that puts me in a better position than the other player. So get in the habit of thinking, can a scav actually benefit me here? Let's say I'm in a massive looting area and I want to loot. Leave a scav up outside your building to protect your building. Use it to your advantage. An absolutely huge tip that could help you so much in Escape from Tarkov. To talk about the next tip, we've got 2 more tips to go. This is on another point of getting information. I don't think a lot of people do this, and some people say to me, you know, I've been dying so much this wipe and I just don't know why, I'm just getting real unlucky. And you're pathing and getting information from gunshots and sounds on the map is really, really important. Let's say things like even airdrops. You don't want to be running into the vicinity around where people would be running to an airdrop if you do see it. If I'm hearing shots at dorms, right, and go past it to go to my extract, these are things that will get you killed. Essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm mostly going to use this side of the map and this road, let's say, or this wall that leads up, instead of going completely down the dorms fence. So when you're hearing fights, when you're hearing PMCs or just them killing scavs, this is information that you can actually use. So when you're hearing these shots, one, you're thinking, how close is this to me? Two, where do I think it's coming from? And three, what is the path I can take that would avoid that? Because at the end of the day, you could have quest items on you that you just want to get out and extract with so you can get a quest done. Everyone does it in Tarkov. It's paramount, or else we'd never be able to quest. So when you're hearing these shots, when you're hearing this information, think, what is the path I can now take that is the most safest and not near them shots? Now, if you're hearing 3 different guns go off at the same time, that's telling you that there's likely either 2 to 3 PMCs in a vicinity. So you are 2 to 3 PMCs now more safer going in another direction. This is huge information that I think gets overlooked in Escape from Tarkov. Use the info from gunshots and sounds of what's happening on the map, airdrops, everything, and think to yourself, how can I get out of this the safest? Another tip I wanted to talk about is using your gun in the shooting range. If you haven't used the gun before, I implore you to please go to the shooting range. If you don't know what the shooting range is, it's located in the hideout. It's essentially a way for you to go and shoot bullets for free and get used to a gun. And let's say you don't know the fire rate of this vector, you don't know how it works, maybe you've just been using like an SKS and it's a lot different, you're new to the game, you know, you're not going to know that this thing fires like a laser, you know? So get used to that. You don't lose any of the bullets in the shooting range. You get, everything is for free. It's located in your hideout. As you can see, I'll go to it in the image for my editor. He'll put that through. So this is the hideout. Obviously things are going to look different for you where you are at and what level you are. But essentially all you're going to do is come into your hideout. If you do have the shooting range, you just press enter. This will send you in as a person, basically in first person mode. And then you come up to this, click try out your weapon, and essentially this is exactly what you want to do. Now, when you upgrade it, there's different things you can do. You can turn it on, press the buttons, things move, etc. like that. But this is a great way to learn your gun, get used to the fire. This is really important, to be honest. I just feel like the more comfortable you are with guns, everyone has that go-to gun that they love using, whether it's an MPX, a Vector, SR gun, you know, your MK16. So yeah, this is something I would do before I come into raid, and it's a good way to test out your ergonomics, your recoil, to make sure, does it feel good, can I improve it in some way? So yeah, this is the hideout. This is what you should be doing before raid if you haven't used a gun that you are going into raid with. Before I take this smuggler's boat extract here, I wanted to talk about one more tip, and this is the bonus tip. Dodging trees and bushes is really important when you're pushing up to places or pushing uphill or coming to a point where audio can be paramount in dodging and giving triggers to your enemy to understand where you are. Try and learn to dodge bushes as much as you can. This is going to really help you in triggering less audio cues. Uh-oh. Did I hear something? But yeah, it's going to help you hear less, help your enemies hear. Oh, did. What the hell? It's so, yeah.